So, greetings everyone, wherever you are, in Uganda, in South Sudan, or East Africa, or in diaspora. You are welcome to this live stream on Acholi Pro Info TV by me, Mark Tunu Bryan. The topic today is why must the Electoral Commission of Uganda invest or put a consideration on um, voters' education is one of the biggest spending department that they need to consider. Well, to bring you the background of the topic, in the year 2021 general election, that is January, which took place exactly on the 14th of January 2021, and also several other days which followed the one of president and the MPs, other levels also followed. There has been, the things that took place in that period was like a hell, was a hell of a kind. It was hot in most part of Uganda. Voting took place, but people were in tension everywhere. At the presidential level, the opposition were fighting with the government were fighting with the opposition. At the legislative level, that is the MP level, people were fighting each other, no matter the party now. NRM fighting with fellow NRM, independent fighting with NRM, NRM fighting independent, NRM fighting opposition, opposition fighting opposition, opposition fighting NRM. People fought, and there were just a lot of tensions. And I believe in some parts of the country, a good number of people lost their life in that tension. Now, that one is not good, and it is not healthy for our democracy. It is not healthy for our electoral process to be having such a kind of uh, wrangle. You see, that's not good. Let me go into bringing what I think is the main cause on the side of people saying votes were being rigged. Let me talk about vote rigging. In central Uganda, people were talking about vote rigging. They post uh, what they call their evidence, where ballots were being ticked. They call it pre-ticked. Their ballots were being pre-ticked, and you know, they posted the video and the rest. So I will not judge whether it is true or not. That's not uh, my thing. That is for the court, and the court decided, I think. And if the people opposition wanted to challenge, yeah, whatever, or the government want to harmonize, they might have done or they might have not done. That is to them. Now, this is where my concern comes in. To the parts of the country where they were saying their votes were being changed from the head offices of the electoral commissions in various districts by the district returning officers or the DR. This was absolute nonsense. It was just very impossible for people to change the vote. It was impossible for you to alter the figures at the head office of the EC. I'm going to tell you the reason, a very technical reason, why I give credit to the Electoral Commission of Uganda in as far as they have come. And secondly, why you might also agree with me on this issue. Well, I want to bring the background of the security technology which were deployed by the Electoral Commission to manage or to handle uh, issues of vote rigging. Let's start at the polling station. At the polling station, yes, the returning paper where the paper where they take the sheet, let me call it a layman term, paper where they record the vote, the number of votes you've obtained, and your agent sign at that station. That paper alone was made digital or electronic by embedding codes, that is barcodes, on it. Yeah, for example, when you go to the supermarket and all the products are having barcodes, a organized supermarket. But this is what you're not always told. So when you put your product in an organized supermarket, they just strike it with an X-ray light connected to the computer. Tack, the sound comes, ding. Then the price they have tagged is already written there and automatically calculated. So if you have like 100 things that you've been rolling on your cart to exit and you've put, the person in charge of receiving the money will not have to start pressing the calculator. No, it's not like that. The person will only flash the light, put it this side, the biscuit, the posho, totaling, okay, 1.5 million. They tell you the price, they just turn the side of the computer, or a mini display. This is the amount you should pay. You pay, the receipt is printed, and you go out. That is the best example of a barcode technology I can describe to anybody. Now, these papers were having barcodes, which were embedded with a special inking, which were I think it contained some kind of uh, metallic elements which were embedded in it. That makes it a digital paper. Now, that is the first security they have taken. And there is also the infrared for it to what? To be used. And the infrared per district is controlled by only one person. The person first check to make it is easy to use, to make uh, it is functional in the morning before people are disbursed to the various polling stations. Then, in case you get any error, you call back to the headquarters of the election commission, the main office at the district, for assistance, and that technical person goes so fast to help you. Now you realize that is one of the things that is from the center. Let's leave alone the checking using national ID, the PC. Yeah, somebody may think it is ordinary. Let's leave that one. Now, when we come to the office of the EC at the district, the security we have, I will begin by the monitor. Yes, the EC made sure that each and every district had a 65-inch display of a flat screen put with a trolley that is rolled. For the public, the few public to be allowed to view how the votes are being tallied by the data clerks. That is a few supporters and also a few officials, then also the officials from the side of each contestant that could be agents or political assistants, and the contestants themselves can enter inside, plus the security officials, to witness it being counted and entered transparently. Wires connected to the computers of the data clerks. Now, on the table of the data clerks, let me again tell you the security available there. The first one, when you return the paper, I told you the paper is is having the barcode, so it is a digital paper. When the paper is returned and you submit it to the person, the data clerk, the first data clerk, after the box have been opened, and all of you, the agent and the agents of the, you know, of the two parties have agreed that, yeah, there's no problem with the ballot box. We start picking these returning papers containing your results. The first step is to scan to prove if it is true. You strike it with the light, the infrared light. That one will confirm. Immediately after it has confirmed, it will set the page in that software of the data clerks automatically with the code of the polling station and the names of the contestant for that specific position. If it is presidential, then the name of Besigye, Museveni, Bobi Wine will start appearing. If it is uh, if it is for the MP, and you see Jacob Olanya, Akola Anthony, yes, it will start appearing. That is for example in a more district. It will all get displayed. Now you still have the paper in your hand, ready to start entering. But another security again, before you enter it, you have to put it via the scanner. In the scanner, the computer and the scanner are all connected to a VSAT internet provider. That is, in a layman term, an internet that goes via the satellite. So when it is scanned like this, one copy goes straight to the center, the control center in Kampala of the Electoral Commission. You know, a scanned copy, that's like a photo. It goes. The second copy remains with, with inside the computer. Now that copy is displayed straight away on the monitor. It is also linked via the internet to the Electoral Commission, which they are seeing and receiving the data or the metrics or the statistic instantly without waiting for the ballot boxes to go there or whatever. They're seeing it the way you're seeing from here. Now, if you realize the scanning is not correct, you are entitled to make your complaint from there immediately. That is the agent and other officials who are witnessing the tallying. Another one, you start entering it now manually. The paper, start entering it manually. But remember, you're not alone. There is not only one data clerk. There are always 6 data clerks. 2 will be as substitutes. In football, they are called dangerous substitutes. And these 2 will be seeing you together with another person in the center monitoring you. That's the head of the data clerks. The 2 computers decide if I enter one result from one sheet, I have to give to the next person to enter the same thing, repeating all these processes I told you, the scanning, the flashing, and then it passes again to the other 2 on the other side. They will again repeat the same result. So the result is entered with the same process 4 times, and there must be no error. If not, the computer will automatically disqualify. Because remember, you have already the copy at the EC, and remember, a copy is reflecting there, and what you're typing is already also reflected. So your results, me and this person must be the same. Then we shift, which will pass via the supervisor on the other side, which we will not tell them, you change the one of Bosmigo team to 32 and this one. So if me and this person had agreed, the other 2 will not be agreeing. Then what about the other dangerous substitutes left? So that's also another security, very serious one. So it is entered 4 times. And if you have any complaint, you're seeing it on display, you have a copy in your hand as an agent, you will have to raise your hand and say, there is an error there. Mine is saying this. The scan copy is also saying this. Why are you entering the wrong result? Because the metric is continuing. The metric is going on. You watch this movie called Metricstrology. Yes, the EC introduced metric storage, a very good technology. So you realize that after the tally, the people are left to move around freely, sleep within there if you wish. That is now open transparency. This is where my concern finally comes. I have to say, it's impossible to change the vote origin from the tallying center. And I must say, if rigging is possible, then it can only be done at the polling station when, in any case, if you have a weak agent, blame yourself. If you have not built trust with your agent, maybe they have bribed the agent or what, then you need to blame yourself. Because that's where the agent could be loose. And, you know, things could be changed from the ballot because it is ticked manually. They could interchange it and they bring a predict thing. That is possible. Then another thing is, on the way transporting it back, your agent could be bribed, give an effect declaration form which is not having the right code and is not having the original material of the paper. That will be a very big trouble. And the agent, the thing can be changed and your agent is paid off. And by the time it brings to the tallying center, you will start complaining, or the agent will start complaining, and the agent will be arrested. That is where, that will be your own mistake for not putting a strong agent, you see? And that's where you will have the right to say, your vote might have been stolen, but never make this mistake of saying from the tallying center because you're fooling yourself. You're being a fool. You're lying to your voters. Or, in any case, the advisors or your voters are lying to you. So, in conclusion, this is what the Electoral Commission of Uganda must do. Put a lot of money in voters' education. Invest in the sensitization. Use different media. You don't stick only to traditional media like FM or television. There are people in the street or in town, in urban centers, who only watches things from the smartphone. They're just there on the smartphone. A lot of people took a lot of time without turning on the radio. And there are a lot of youths who don't have TVs. And for them to go 1 hour and NBS Live at 9 or any other program, 1 hour, buying data for them to use it through the phone, it's not easy. So these smaller publications, they can easily access it faster. So you need to invest money in sensitizing the people on media and also training the voters. That is what's called voters education on what they need to know. They must also know the security. They must also know how the system works so that they don't open their mouths anyhow, so that they realize that when the army or the security cane them, it is because of their own mistake. They say if you die, and if you die before knowing Christianity, before you came across Christianity, any other sin you had committed is forgiven. That's what I hear some people say in arguments. That is, say, our ancestors who died before Christianity came. I am not sticking to that argument. I'm just bringing. So it's like when you make a mistake without knowing the rule, yeah, it's not your mistake. Without knowing how the system works. Like previously, people were not told those things in the voters' education. But if you are told how the system works and you're messing up with your mouth, striking, the security must put things, certain things in your buttock. Because this is the problem. There are people who have their methods of doing things. to scare the people, do what nonsense, not knowing they will bring injuries to fellows. Election will go past somebody's admitted in the hospital, somebody's dead. No, 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 no. That is what Electoral Commission must avoid. And by the way, if I had if I had not changed my mind, I wanted even to sue Electoral Commission for not conducting a proper voters education. But I don't want to enter into that tension. You see, voters education is needed. Electoral Commission must put money in it. I hate this idea of saying there is no money to carry out election. They can even say there's no money for for voters education. You have people who say they support democracy. They will never fail or refuse to fund the money for election. They will not. They can refuse to fund the money for our development, but not for our voting. Because they say they want democracy. So if there's no money, they will fund it. So this idea of no money should not be there. Put money, let the voters know their limit, their rights, their power, their boundaries. Let them know how the system works. Who is who? Respect this person. Treat this person like this. That is what is needed. That's one of the things. That is one of the heaviest investment that the Electoral Commission of Uganda must do. In other words, how far the Electoral Commission has gone, I appreciate them. This video is not to say there's no irregularities completely, but it is to add emphasis on what needs to be done, more things that needs to be done. Thank you very much for having you on this live stream. Until next time, bye bye.